So this is just going to be a little addition to the game we're working on. Some of you have had some issues with the player or enemy not moving towards the player, and an error saying that it's not located on the nav mesh. So I'm going to show you a couple different ways of doing that. First of all, and actually one of my other students did this, I actually put my nav mesh surface into my ground for the first one, and then when I create the next one, if I were to create another AI nav mesh surface, it would actually put it under there. So I actually have the nav mesh surfaces under the ground, under my plane. I named it plane. Okay, I have my player, and I have a nav mesh agent on it. So the nav mesh agent is humanoid. So you have to have a nav mesh agent on the player. I don't have a rigid body on it, but I'm not moving it yet either. So let's go ahead and do that. So we're actually going to move it in this one. So let's go component, physics, rigid body. It wouldn't affect the enemy coming towards it, but we're actually going to make it move. Okay, and then my enemy, I have a nav mesh agent enemy. Okay, so and then my script, two scripts. This is the one to make it move. You guys should already have this one. Make sure you have the AI, and this is all we need. And so if I put that script on it, drag my player in, and then for my nav mesh surface, if you only have one surface, make it humanoid. Just humanoid. If you only have one surface, that's really all you need. If you're going to put a second nav mesh surface on there, then you can make an enemy for the second one. But if you just have the one on there, make sure it's humanoid. If I actually disable this, let's see if it works. And it's not working. So let me enable this and see what happens. I actually think if I get rid of this surface, let's just get rid of it and make this humanoid, I think it will work. Let's see. Doesn't work. So maybe we do need that. So that means we would, well, let's bake this thing. I got rid of it. Let's bake it and see what happens. Same thing. Okay. Let's move it up a little bit, down. And go back and bake it. Same thing. Okay, so let's make it easy and let's go here. AI and nav mesh surface. Let's try one thing. Let's make this enemy before we go make a lot of changes. Same error message. Let's bake it and try it. Okay, it's moving. Okay, so if we only have one nav mesh surface, make it enemy. Maybe that's the way to go. If I create another one, well, let's leave it at this. So we have one nav mesh surface, enemy. Let's create one. What the heck? Let's save a scene. And let's say enemy nav. So we know if we have one surface, enemy is what we need. But I bet if we create another one and make it nav mesh surface and humanoid, let's see what happens now. And it works also. So it's sort of not hitting it though, is it? So it's actually, well, let's put a, maybe I'll screw this all up, but let's put a physics rigid body on our player. Let's see if we mess everything up now. See what happens when we hit now. It's hitting it. There we go. Okay, so what we did is we got nav mesh surface for the enemy. And if we're only going to have one, just make it the enemy. If you're going to have two surfaces, make the other one humanoid. And let's go ahead and put some rigid bodies on both of those. Now let's add the script. Let's go get our player script. I think it's move. Yeah, I can't remember what I typed. Player move. Okay, now let's see what happens. Here's my player moving. Let's move it further away. And player move. Let's look and make sure that's the right script. Which is player move. Okay, so let's look at it. We gotta get that input system. Oh, I know what the problem is. We gotta have an input system. So we gotta go to player. We gotta go add. No, we don't. Yeah, we already have it in there. Is it input system? Maybe I don't have it in my packages. I do, input system. Well, why can't I add it? Am I in the game? Oh, I think it's player input. Player input. Okay. And now we're going to go here and input actions. So if you don't have it, you're going to create input actions. Capital I, capital A. You hit that button and type it in. Input actions. Now I'm good. Now I think when I move, I am moving. Perfect. So remember, you would come down here, player input, and you would click on this and then type input actions. So you're typing this. Input actions, then hit enter. Let's look at that script real quick. So the input system, we get our variables. So speed, rigid body, and we don't need this count. This is the same one we used before from the other project, so don't worry. You can go copy that one if you want. And so we're going to get all these variables here, and we don't need this. Okay, so all these variables, speed, rigid body, movement. And when the game starts, we're going to get our rigid body. Remember, put a rigid body on your player. Put it on your enemy too. And then we're going to write a function to move. So void on move, input value, moment value. We're going to get the vector 2. So now we're going to move left, right, forwards, and backwards. And of course, y, when we're moving, is actually forwards and backwards. And so that's, remember, this is our own function. We're writing our own function, and we are returning a value. So we're returning a value there, okay? And then the last part, where we can move, we're going to add force. So fixed update, which makes it more accurate, and you're going to get our vector 3 movement, and using our variables up top, not moving in the y, and then we're going to add force to that movement speed. And of course, you're going to put this script on your player. And if you want to, you just go adapt the other script we had before, and it will work. I just removed all the things for the count and everything. And we'll create your own function, and then another fixed update. Anyway, get that, and we should be ready to move and follow, and our game should be playing real nice. So now we can start getting another scene and making it move. Now, I don't have any of my Pro Builder stuff inside there, but I created a new scene just to fool around with this. So if I file, save as, and this is player move, I'll put single. And if I go to my other ones, settings, scenes, and if I hit player move, then I get the big one. So if you're ever going to try something, just create a new scene. All your scripts and stuff will still be inside there, and you'll be able to go. Anyway, that's just a little update. Also let you put the new script in there, and if you're having any problems, get them corrected.